Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my first preview for Walking Dead Season 6. We finally have a little bit of footage from the set. The cast was at the Saturn Awards this past weekend talking a little bit about what's going to be going on. The only thing we don't have yet is an official trailer. They usually wait till the Comic-Con panel to show that off. What I'm going to do is play this short clip from the set of episode 1. It's just, Michael Cudlitz walking around talking to people. They don't answer a whole lot of big questions, but there are some important things going on in the background that I'm going to use to do a breakdown. So just be sure to look around in the frame at what the cast is doing.
Hi guys, it's Mike Cudlitz here on set of The Walking Dead. It's season 6, episode 1. Huge episode. It's amazing. Come on with me. We're gonna go talk to some of the cast. What are you most excited about coming back to Georgia?
We ended on a really compelling note, so I'm excited to get going. I hope that we find out a lot more about these wolves.
What do you think is gonna happen there?
We'll see.
You don't know. We'll see.
We have no idea.
All right. We're here on set with Lenny James, who is back with us. Morgan, what's it like to be back?
It's a little surreal, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little like I've been here forever and I've never been here.
Got pretty epic with the stick. Are we gonna maybe find out a little bit more about that storyline? Do we not know?
I think I know, but I'm not sure.
Let's go see if we can sneak up on some other people and maybe eavesdrop on what's going on. Hey.
Hi.
It's Lauren.
It's me.
Okay, so what's it like being back in Georgia?
It's so funny. It's like as soon as you've said hello to every face, you feel like you were just here. As soon as you've sweated and had 3 cups of coffee, you're like, okay, we're back.
You got a moment you can talk directly to the fans.
That's a lot of pressure.
30 million people.
That I appreciate you guys, and that we all love you, and that we're doing this for you. The bumps, the bruises, the toenails that I'm sure I don't have anymore after wearing these shoes. And we're happy that we have you and your support.
We're here with Denai, and we're underneath the truck to escape the heat of the day. What's it like to be back?
You know, it's family. It's good. It's even good to see you. I mean,
She's so cool.
no, it's amazing. It's amazing.
You excited?
Yeah, of course. It's like.
Someone's excited to be back. You excited to be back, Norman? Now I am. They're calling us back to set, and they're going to yell at us because we're actually going to be late. Thank you, sweetheart.
I love being on the Cudlitz show.
Now you've been kissed by Norman Reedus and Mike Cudlitz.
I know. What a
I've
day. I love my job.
They're calling me on set. Ready. Just wanted to thank you for showing up and spending the day with us. We're having a blast. Season 6 is going to be phenomenal. The first episode is going to blow your mind. Thank you.
So really the biggest thing about this, not Norman Reedus walking around kissing everyone, is Morgan. Morgan is going to be big when the show comes back. Lenny James is always a lot of fun, but he's still the lead actor on another show called Critical. It's only 13 episodes a season, so if it gets renewed, I don't think he'll have any problems bouncing back and forth between Walking Dead, assuming that at some point this season he's going to leave the cast. Hopefully he doesn't die. I'd love to see him stick around, and it would be great if he stuck around all the way through season 7. It's just that I don't think this other show is going to cause problems with that. Like if he left the show, it wouldn't be because of scheduling problems. I think they always had the intention of bringing him back. It's just that, before last season, when we saw him a couple times, there were really bad scheduling problems. Like he had a bunch of other stuff he was doing. Some of that got canceled, so naturally he was like, oh hey, I'm available. Why don't you bring me back to The Walking Dead? So Scott Gimple was like, hell yeah, I'll bring you back. They have released some key art for episode 1. It's this big poster with Morgan and Rick front and center. It gives you a pretty good idea of what the dynamic is going to be between them. It's like, on one side you have Safe Zone people, then you have the survivors on the other, and between them is Crazy Rick and Jedi Morgan. It's not like there's going to be a line drawn in the sand or anything like that. It seems like what they want you to think is that Morgan is going to be more sympathetic with the Safe Zone people than he is with the survivors, who are way more hardcore. During that clip, when he said he had some ideas about what was going on with the staff, he probably just started using it as a non-lethal way to deal with people. Like the wolves at the end of the last season, which he totally should have killed. There's always like the external conflicts you have on the show, them fighting the governor, fighting the walkers, but then you have the internal conflicts underneath that, fights between members inside the group. So the big fight this year, or at least when the season picks up, is going to be Morgan's philosophy versus Rick's philosophy. The exact same thing went on inside Michonne, like completely localized to her character, where she started out being super hardcore, they got to the safe zone, she hung her katana up and started being Sheriff Michonne. It was like she was trying to leave behind her violent past. She's like, I don't need this anymore. Cut to the end of the season where she takes it back down, where she's like, okay, yeah, maybe I do need it. I think she's just the balance between Rick and Morgan's philosophy. So either they find some sort of internal equilibrium, or the shit is going to hit the fan and it's going to tear the group apart. That's usually what you see happen with like Rick's character, where he sees something else going on, like some other conflict, and it makes him think about what he's doing, where he's like, oh my god, I'm way too crazy now. He hasn't quite reached that point though. You know, people were making jokes about how he basically turned into Shane, who is now officially the Punisher, by the way. That's a pretty big deal. But I don't think that Rick is Shane. That's just a funny way to think about how short he's gotten with situations, where he's just like, nope, not having it, gonna shut this down. Old Rick would have probably had several conversations with Pete before it came to blows. Rick right now just has no more time for bullshit. If you do want to read along in the comic book with Season 6, Episode 1 will pick up right around where Volume 14, No Way Out, picks up. So you can read ahead if you want, or don't read it, either way. They are doing more stuff from the comics, but remember, it's still an adaptation, and a lot of the characters have been changed to fit with the cast that they have. Like Douglas Monroe in the comics is this female leader of the safe zone. So they've gender bent a few characters, then you have people like Daryl who aren't in the comics at all. But we will be seeing storylines from that comic, and we'll be seeing locations that they visit. So if you want to know what some of those are, and you don't care about potential spoilers, just read ahead in the comic. But back to the video. So look around what's going on in the background. It looks like they're barricading the road with more stuff. Michonne is sitting under this 18-wheeler. I don't know if that belongs to the wolves, or if it's just another one they found, and they're using it to barricade the road with extra stuff. But it looks like they're expecting the wolves to come, and they're just preparing for it. Or it could just be routine maintenance. Just looking at it, this looks like new construction though. It's not like they're rebuilding walls. Too bad they don't have an engineer anymore. Say a little silent prayer for Dee's husband. They do a pretty good job of changing the dynamic on the show like every half season. So expect this first half to feel very different from the second half of Season 5. But I don't think they're going to do a repeat of Season 5 Episode 1 where they blew up Terminus in that first episode. If they do repeat anything, I'm really hoping to see some more Rambo Carol. Sasha's kind of taken that role on herself. She's kind of like comic book Andrea sitting up in the tower. She's got the assault rifle, so if anyone's going to be mowing down any walkers, it's probably going to be her. Right now though, Carol is still my favorite character. She is like the Colossus of the group, which is why it's so funny that she dresses like a housewife. It's all an act, you know, she's just hiding behind those cookies. Those very awesome, scary cookies. Here's my question for you guys. After the events of the finale, who is your favorite character on the show right now? What are you hoping to see from them in the first episode? Carol go crazy? Sasha mow the shit out of some people? There aren't a whole lot of wolves, like actual human wolves. Most of the bodies that they have are all walkers. Like there's like a couple wolves controlling all of them. They spent a ton of money building Daryl's custom bike, so I'm hoping they don't trash that in the first episode either. The only problem with having so many awesome main characters is that a lot of the lesser characters kind of get put by the wayside when you have big episodes and they're all in it together. So like Carl and Enid, very interesting dynamic, but they might not get featured quite as much just because so much is going on in this first episode. I really do expect a lot from Enid's character. She's like one of the most fascinating young female characters that we've seen on the show. Lizzie and Mika were a lot of fun, but they were like way, way younger. You know, by having like a slightly older teenage girl, I think they can have someone that will challenge Carl, but someone that he can also learn a lot from. Beth was starting to get there, but she was almost like this precious flower growing in the weeds. So naturally, all the weeds were going to choke her out at some point. One of my other favorite new Safe Zone characters is Aaron, like the Aaron-Daryl dynamic. Aaron just seems like a really awesome dude. It seems like he knows his shit just as well as Daryl. I didn't enjoy like the really awkward dinner scenes with his boyfriend quite as much. Just when Daryl and Aaron are off in the wilderness together. Just because Daryl hates talking so much and Aaron kind of gets that, even though he presses him all the time. There's so many odd pairings on the show. You have Carl and Enid, you have Rick and Morgan, you have Daryl and Carol. I don't really get into shipping or anything like that really hardcore, but it's so funny when you see those characters together, when you see those odd pairings. I feel like whenever there isn't a whole lot of action on screen, that's what's most fun about the show. So just a reminder about the Comic-Con panel. That's going to be on Friday. I'm going to do like a big Comic-Con preview where I talk about like when everything is going to be happening. They'll drop the trailer, but it's going to be 2 hours because they're going to bring out the entire cast of Fear the Walking Dead too. So we'll probably learn a lot about that show. When we do get a little bit closer, like especially right around Comic-Con, I'll start doing Q&A videos for The Walking Dead again too. And the weekly giveaway will start up again. In fact, I'll go ahead and start it right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. I'll announce the winner whenever I post my next Walking Dead video. It should be by next week. I got a couple other videos I'm working on for the weekend. You can find updates for that stuff on Twitter and Facebook. Links in the description if you don't know where to find those. So time to start preparing yourself for Fear the Walking Dead in Season 6. While you guys wait for my next video, you can click here for my Fear the Walking Dead trailer video, and you can click here for my Season 6 predictions. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.